right. Hello everyone. Guess what? I finally decided to get a new case. This case I've always hated. It was a cheap, crappy case, but it's just one of these cases that, man, what was I thinking by buying this case? And I decided to get a real good case. It's an Antec case. This particular one's an Antec 100. It's not an expensive case, but for the price it is actually pretty good, and you can actually tell how much bigger this case is compared to my old one. I mean, this thing just looks puny compared to this. So more room, better airflow, and just much easier to get to, honestly. So let me open this up and show you how it looks. Alright, so you can tell the difference that this has a lot more room in here. And what I like about this kind of case is that these are the kinds you actually screw on. It's none of these stupid little clips, like easy release clips. And that's one of these one of the gripes I have with those easy to use quick release types of connectors. That do you really go in here all the time to change stuff all the time? I'm one of these people that, alright, just change what you need and you're pretty much it. You know, you're probably going to go in here maybe like at most once a year maybe. So I've always preferred the kinds you actually screw stuff on. That way it's held together tightly, nothing will rattle, and everything's all good. And what's nice about this is that the power supply does connect to the bottom. And yes, I am able to flip this around so the fan would actually be on top. So I just flip it around, which is all good. And there is actually enough room to run cables underneath here. But I'll have to take out the other side to mount everything together. But okay, no, this is not the kind. No, this is not the kind that you can just take the whole panel off and connect the motherboard to it and then place it on. I actually have to drop it in here and connect everything together. But what's also nice about this is there's two nicely large 120 millimeter fans. And what's also really cool about this is actually one of my favorite parts about this case. In the back here, I have little controls. So I can put on low to high for the two fans. So I actually have built-in fan controls on this thing. And I have to say that's actually pretty nice. Now, even though this didn't come with a fan there, it's not necessary, but I do have an extra fan here that I could just take out and plop it on there if I want to. So I do have that option. And this one does have an actual controls on it too. So, but yeah, that's what I'm looking at. And I'll just put everything here into here. Alright, this is just a progress thing that's going on. And you can already tell how much more room this case is going to have. Now if I pan out a little, if you noticed before, all these drives was overlapping the motherboard. They're not now. And what's nice about this case is that if I ever change out the motherboard, I can always put a larger one in here. But you know, this motherboard is completely fine. You know, I'm just changing out the case, and all the wiring is able to go behind it. So if I change this around, you can see all the wiring. Now, of course, I didn't put the power supply in yet, but you can tell this is actually a very nice motherboard because metal backing. So that's not going anywhere. Alright, I put everything in, and I'll close it up, turn it on, and hopefully I connected all the connectors correctly. But one thing I wanted to say is that the cables, because all the buttons are up here, hopefully I'm catching that, but you know, all the buttons are on top here, all the USB ports, the button to turn it on and everything is all up here. The cord is not long enough to reach down here. It just barely fits. And that's kind of why I still have this little bit of mess. So, you know, if I really want to be clean, I have to go back to the store and buy a bunch of extension cables. That way all the cables will be behind here, and then I can just use this area down here just to connect everything to the board. So that's a little annoying, but other than that, it was actually really easy to put on here. You know, it didn't really take me long. The board fit on there nicely. You know, I have this nice gap here, so the power supply is way down here and everything like that. And yes, I was able to flip the power supply around. And there's a lot more room to work with now, which is what I was looking for. So I'll put this on, turn it on, and see what happens. Alright, got it up and running, and no issues. That was actually kind of cool about this. That's a little tray area where you can just dump stuff on there. And that's what I did. So all the power controls are up here. I got 4 USB ports that I can use up here. So, and the card reader. So not too shabby. This was about, with tax, about $60, and I'm actually really pleased. All this here, you can feel the air coming in, even though there's no fan there. There's only 2 fans. You got one on the top here and one on the back. So the top sucks in air, and the back actually pulls it out. So you got the power supply that pushes air in, and then it just pulls it out. So pretty nice. That's it. If you're wondering how the box looks like, this is how the box looks like. It's the Antec 100 series. There is a 2 and 300 series. But for the most part, I do like this case. I kind of wish the cables were slightly longer. I may have to go back, get some extension cables just to make it cleaner inside. But, you know, it works. Everything worked. And, so, like always, have a good one.